It's a new year, a new season, and we are underway.
Really dominating fashion here today is going to win.
2, 3, 4 for the final time.
Win number 1 of the season, only just barely.
He is going to win here at the Texas Speedway.
Wins the Emerson Electric 100K.
Gonna be Igor Barretto's gonna eke it out.
Cup Series champion is Shane Lake in the number 15.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
We are here at the Texas Motor Speedway, Fort Worth, Texas, here to continue the Season 3 of the Cabela Cup Series of the NOFSRL. This is the HEB 500 here at this 1.5-mile D-shaped quad oval track, and we are ready to go racing here. No PJ1 needed. We saw a fantastic race last night in the Scots National Series. Gonna see one later on this weekend in the CarQuest Indy Racing League. We're going to use a different version of Texas for that race. We got the 2010 Safer Barrier Project version for this race. We're going to use the 2020 version for the IndyCar race, but don't worry, no PJ1 there either. Matt Tuck made a fantastic I&I for that particular version of the track too, so we don't even have to worry about that being a bad race. But anyway, we are here at Texas. We're ready to get this race started. Will Parrish and RJ Rosero are going to lead us to the green here in just a few moments. It's going to be a good one here at Texas. Let's go down track side, get your starting lineup, and we'll get this pace lap started. And the engines fire. We're going to get these guys rolling out from the pit road here. It is points leader Will Parrish on the pole position here at Texas Motor Speedway. He's going to start alongside the 13 of RJ Rosero. In row number 2, we find Talladega winner Ryan Durrani, and he's going to start alongside NS Racing Stephen Colon. Row 3, we find Sophia Fragniti in the 38 alongside Trinity River Racing's Sebastian Kukulon in the 82. In row 4, we find Charlie Davenport in the 19. He's going to start alongside Trey Wright in the 90. And rounding out the top 10, it's Alexander Rowe for Ryan Racing in the 11, alongside Fitzwater Australia Racing's Mitchell Collins. And let's go to the back of the field real quick. Looks like everybody's off rolling here. We got your starting lineup and the Buc-ee's Race Report on the left side of your screen. 67 laps here at Texas Motor Speedway in the HEB 500. The first trip the Cabela's Cup Series has ever made to this racetrack. This is the 3rd season. And this being my home track, I don't know why it's taken so long to come here, but we are finally going to make it happen. Pace car is getting ready to come down onto the pit road, and we are just about ready to get this race going here deep in the heart of Texas. Pace car going to come down onto the pit road. There it goes. The field of 42 down through the quad oval. And the Howard E. Butts 500 from Texas Motor Speedway is green. Durrani with the move on the inside in that 34. He's going to lead lap number 1 of the HEP 500. Sophia Fragniti follows into second. Parrish to third. Rosero down to the inside for the 3rd position on Parrish. Parrish back to 4th. Davenport and Cologne side by side there for the 5th position. Kukulon sliding backwards on the outside. He's got Arnsdorf and Nathan Smith down low. Smith almost won at Kansas last week, but lost in that final get-together with Joey Hightower. Hightower was able to pull away during that battle and won the Smokehouse Barbecue 400. We're here at a 500 at Texas Motor Speedway, sponsored by a Texas-based grocery store brand, pioneered by a man named Howard E. Butts, hence the name HEB. Fragniti catching up to the 34 of Ryan Durrani. Headed off of turn 4. They're going to be side by side for the top position. Parrish and Rosero trying to close in behind. Davenport and Cologne still making that battle for 5th place happen. And looks like Fragniti's going to get the lead. Davenport's going to get 5th place from Cologne, who slips to 7th as Nathan Smith goes by as well. Will Parrish going to make a move down low at Durrani for that 2nd position. Going to give him a little boot scoop boogie coming out of turn number 4, but Durrani's going to have the outside line advantage there. he will hold on to the second position just ahead of our points leader, Will Parrish. RJ Rosero in the 13, closing in on the 0 Ruby Motorsports Chevrolet. Parrish able to hold on to it for now. We're going to see a lot more battling going on here in the early part of this race. Just ahead of this, Nathan Smith and RJ Rosero going to go at it. Rosero's going to make that outside line work. And this being a 67-lap race, we are going to see 2 pit stops in this race at least. Expect one cycle around lap 28 to 32 or so, and then expect the second to be around, I'd say, lap 56 to 60, and we should be able to make it to the end from there. Fragniti with a big lead over Ryan Durrani right now. Durrani settled down in the second position. He's all good for right now. Rosero third, trying to hold off Nathan Smith, who's got a big charge coming in car number 84. Down to the inside comes Smith, and he is going to take that third position away from Rosero unless he comes back on that outside, which that Toyota has an opportunity to do. Headed down into turn number 3, still there on the top side of car number 84. And glued to that top side, trying to make it work. But there's a freight train on the inside coming with Parrish and Arnsdorf there. They're going to pull out, try 3 wide underneath Davenport. Parrish and Arnsdorf going to stretch away as Davenport slips on the outside. And meanwhile, while all of this is going on, the top 2 are pulling away. Fragniti and Durrani gone. Nathan Smith's going to pull away from this. Rosero, Arnsdorf, Cologne, and Daisy Johnson going to join them here unless they start duking it out again. But it's .43 between the 38 and 34 up front. Not a whole lot going on up there for the battle for the lead. But the action is hot and heavy back here throughout the field. Igor Barreto in the 80 on the outside of Jacob Thibodeau there. Chris Reynolds, he's slipping backwards. 3 wide behind them. Trey Wright on the inside of Collins and on the outside of Keegan Thompson. Of course, Igor Barreto, one of 2 uncharted drivers in the field tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. Fragniti, that gap between her and the 34 of Durrani was closing in just a little bit there. But the other uncharted driver we have here is the 41 of Aiden Macro, who finished second in the Scots National Race to Igor Barreto at Kansas. Igor Barreto winning that race. And it's a very different tale for the uncharted guys. Barreto's in 17th, and Aiden Macro is in 38th right now. As we get into the later parts of this opening part of the race here, Fragniti is still up front ahead of Durrani. For third place there, Nathan Smith and Arnsdorf getting a little tight there. I thought Arnsdorf would get to the inside there on that 84, but not able to. Nathan Smith's going to hold on to it. Top 4 within a second of each other here at Texas Motor Speedway. Been an interesting race so far for sure. Cologne's going to take a look down to the inside of Darian Arnsdorf for that is 4th place on track. And he's going to take it away from the 14. Rosero's going to move into the 5th position as well in car number 13 as Fragniti in the 38 starts to pull away once again. Fragniti having dominated the early part of this race. Shades of Matt Dallio in the NOFSRL Cup Series at Texas in Season 9 back in 2020. I was there alongside Alex doing that race, and that was a fantastic race. Of course, that one went caution-free right here at Texas Motor Speedway. We were not using this version of the track. We were using the original in the day. And, well, we've gone caution-free here through the first 14 laps, and it's playing out pretty similarly to how that race played out. Matt Dallio had dominated the opening stages of that race, and right now it's Sophia Fragniti dominating the opening part of this race here in the HEB 500. Coming around for lap 16, though, this time by 52 laps to go already. And they are tightening up once again up at the front of the field. Nathan Smith going to try the dive from way far back on Ryan Durrani for the second position. Nathan Smith was there. Durrani's going to hold on to it. Cologne on the top side, though, coming in car number 98. Rosero down to the inside of that 98, trying to hold on to the fourth position. Cologne's going to try to make that car work on the outside. Arnsdorf slips up in the quad oval as well as Daisy Johnson gets down to that inside. And Durrani will hold off the 84 of Nathan Smith for right now, just chopping him going into turn 1. And deep in the field we look. The last race's winner, Joey Hightower, right there behind Trey Wright in the 90. He currently sits in the 25th position on track right now. Andrew Miller having got by the 90 of Trey Wright. Trey Wright's going to take a look there for the 23rd position. He's going to take it. Hightower going to try to move up to 24th as Miller slips backwards in car number 35, and he's going to take it. But the night has not gotten better, looks like, for Aiden Macro in the uncharted number 41. Here he is on the outside of Dan Park in the 22. This is a battle for 32nd on track right now, and I'm not so sure Park might not get that back. Well, up front, it is still Sophia Fragniti in the 38, leading the charge. Nathan Smith is into second, as they're going to go 3 wide for the 4th position. Make that the 5th position, as Parrish will get underneath both the 13 and 34, and the points leader is going to get a 2-for-1 special down to the inside. Rosero's going to go down to the inside. Durrani continues to slip backwards as Darian Arnsdorf gets down low on him. Up here for second, Cologne not quite able to get down low on Nathan Smith. But Sophia Fragniti is loving that. She is continuing to pull away in the early stages here at Texas Motor Speedway. And the defending champion, Kanan Biller, not having a very good start to the night. He is 37th on track right now. Now slips to 38th as Josiah Robinson is going to get by. He's going to get caught in the middle of 3 wide there. Aiden Macro slips backwards. Eric Monaco slipping into the battle there in that 55. And for the last place car on track, it is Ethan Lewis, 10 seconds off the pace that Sophia Fragniti has set. With a half-second lead over Nathan Smith, Daisy Johnson in 3rd, Cologne 4th, Will Parrish in the 5th position right now. That's the way they run at Texas Motor Speedway, as looks like they are side by side for that 4th position. Cologne's going to hold on to it. Rosero's going to look down low on the points leader, though. Headed off into turn 1, and an easy pass for RJ Rosero to knock Will Parrish out of the top 5. Arnsdorf going to make the move for 6th. And looks like he is going to get it there in car number 14. 3 wide coming up here. Nope, Rosero slips out of it. Cologne on the inside of Johnson. That is for 3rd place on track, and he is going to get the position. The gap for the lead slowly tightening up as Nathan Smith has no one else to worry about except catching up to that 38 of Sophia Fragniti. Meanwhile, it is still Ethan Lewis, the last car on track. His teammate Benny Watson, who's won twice this season already, not having a good night either there in 41st, just ahead of him, behind the Scots National Series champion from 1 year ago, Kip Silverpoint. The gap closing slowly once again from 0.35 to 0.31, now 0.28. Nathan Smith still closing in on car number 38, Sophia Fragniti, as she continues to dominate the opening part of this race, almost to halfway done here at Texas Motor Speedway, closing in on pit cycles undoubtedly. Parrish down to the inside of Arnsdorf. That is for the 5th position, and give it to the points leader. Parrish back to 5th. Nathan Smith closing in on the 38 as Cologne has closed in on Smith. Through the quad oval they will come. Smith's not going to be close enough to make a move this time. He's going to be close, though. Not quite. He's going to be right on the back bumper coming out of turn number 2. Nope, that cut his momentum there. As Fragniti came down on him, Smith lost his momentum there, and Cologne's going to be right against the backside of the 84. Coming out of turn number 4. Will we see anybody come down onto the pit road this time for a pit stop? No, it does not look like it. Not yet. On lap 28 now, though, the pit window is open for the first stint. And looks like Fragniti is going to be the first taker. We'll take a look from overhead. As Smith and Cologne will stay out on the track, Fragniti is going to try the undercut. Will anybody else join her? Does not look like it. The only one to do the undercut, Sophia Fragniti. And we're going to see the mid-cut coming in just a second, undoubtedly. Smith is going to come down. Cologne's going to stay out on the racetrack. Fragniti just finishing up her stop, and we're going to see a lot more cars come down this time. Yes, indeed. Not quite half the field, but about a quarter of it. Now Stephen Cologne leads this thing ahead of Darian Arnsdorf, Daisy Johnson, Will Parrish. These guys are going to try the overcut. Guys and gals, I should say. Everything playing out fairly clean here in the pit cycle at Texas Motor Speedway. Some going to try a 4th lap out there. Kukulon into the lead now. In car number 82, he's going to try an extreme overcut here. And I would not be surprised if he came down this time. Looks like he will. Davenport, Stover, Osgood, Reynolds, Smith, Hightower, Nicholas, Miles, Silverpoint. I believe Nathan Smith has already... Yeah, Nathan Smith's already come down the pit road. So, he likely will move into the race lead here if Cologne can't get going here. We'll see where Smith cycles through. Here he comes with Ragniti, and it's not even close. This is the battle for the lead right here between car 84 and the 38. And right now, Nathan Smith has it. As they round turn 4 once again through the quad oval, Nathan Smith is going to cycle into the race lead here. As there is Sebastian Kukulon in the 82, just having come off the pit road. He was the leader coming in. Now Nathan Smith and Sophia Fragniti are 1 and 2 here at Texas Motor Speedway. Racero, Cologne, and Arnsdorf. That is the top 5 right now here at Texas Motor Speedway. Buck 6th, Williams 7th, Johnson 8th, Durrani 9th, Kukulon 10th. Looks like that actually helped Sebastian Kukulon staying out as long as he did. He was slipped backwards big time as the run went on. And he is now in a top 10 position. But we still have one more pit cycle to go, of course. It has been caution-free so far here at Texas Motor Speedway. Kansas last week went caution-free as well. But if we have a late caution, which we could, it will set up a green-white checkered. Kukulon trying to hold off the 32 of Beverly Creed of Hamill. Johnson's going to take a look down to the inside of Ryan Durrani, heading off into turn number 1. And it's going to get there. Boot scoot boogie there. But Durrani is going to hold off car number 15 for the time being. And there's no competition for the lead right now. Nathan Smith just cruising along ahead of Sofia Fragniti, who dominated the opening part of this race. Could see it slipping from her fingers. Rosero not gaining anything on the top two. In fact, losing 300ths there that time by. But they are extremely spread out until we get back to this battle for 7th on track right now. And 3 wide for 8th. Row to the inside of Johnson and Williams through the quad oval. Give it to Alexander Rowe. So he will move into the 8th position. Kukulon on the inside of Johnson for 9th. Headed off into turn number 3. Johnson's going to have it. So move Kukulon to the 10th position. And this is the battle for 3rd on track right now. RJ Rosero and Steven Colon going to go at it. That gap between 2nd and 3rd going to grow even more. Colon going to take the lead away from RJ Rosero. 3rd place rather from RJ Rosero. And the lead battle, it's not much of a battle. It's Nathan Smith just cruising along here looking for his first career Cabela's Cup Series victory. Came close at Kansas, looking for a redemption 1 week later. Kukulon and Parrish nose to tail, trying to chase down the 11 of Alexander Rowe. That is the battle for, well, really, it's a battle for 6th. These guys are all packed together close. Rowe's going to take a look on Durrani. That is for 7th. And Durrani is slipping backwards on the top side. The freight train's on the bottom side. Alexander Rowe moves into the 7th position. 27 laps to go this time by. Nathan Smith still leads. It's a big lead over the 38. 0.54 as it continues to grow, but these guys are closing in here. But from 2.67 to 2.52. So I would not count them out of the race just yet, especially if the 38 is slowing up. And Fragniti still slipping backwards, but so did the 3rd and 4th place cars. They are still side by side. Cologne's going to take over the 3rd spot. But Nathan Smith is cruising here at Texas Motor Speedway. Will Parrish down to the inside of Durrani in a dangerous battle there for 8th or 9th on track. The points leader will clear car number 34 for the time being. Ben Crouch with another good run here in the Cabela's Cup Series. After an atrocious start to the season, he's looking for 10th place on track underneath the Talladega winner, and he is going to move into the top 10, the Season 1 champion in the top 10 here in the HEB 500. He's trying to chase down the man who leads the points right now in Season 3, Will Parrish. He and Ruby Motorsports having an up and down season, but everybody is. He's had the best up and down season of anybody, though. On the inside of Kukulon for the 8th position, he is going to take it. Ben Crouch going to make a move underneath the 82 as well. And it's going to be Crouch getting by the 82. Move Kukulon back to the 10th position and maybe 11th if Durrani's going to get by here. He very well could. And it will be Ryan Durrani moving to the 10th position. Kukulon back to 12th as Brad Crawford goes by. But it is almost a full second lead for Nathan Smith. You see how big the gap is between the 84 and 38. Nathan Smith with a fantastic drive right now in the second stint at Texas Motor Speedway. Only had the 1 pit cycle done. We're about 15 laps away from the second one, I'd say. Rosero and Colon not battling now, but when they were battling, they may have used up their stuff. because they are not closing in on the 38 that much either. Nathan Smith has done a fantastic job taking care of his tires and fuel, but Fragniti's starting to close in a little bit, 0.95 to 0.90. Meanwhile, back here in the battle for 5th, Rowe takes the 5th place. Arnsdorf slipping back on the outside of Buck. And Crouch getting up there in the 74. He's got a big charge now. These last couple weeks is the best Ben Crouch has looked since that Season 1 championship. And I'm even talking about his Scott's National Series last year, at the tail end of last year, in that 12 car. He did not have a very good season in Scott's. While he got a win at Talladega, it was a pretty convincing win, but this is something else here. He's driving for his own team, and he's doing a fantastic job right now at Texas Motor Speedway, but it is a 2-second lead from Nathan Smith back to Sophia Fragniti. The 38's got a problem, for sure. Definitely used up her stuff in this stint early on, and Nathan Smith is absolutely gone. 2.26 seconds the gap, but back here, look at this mess. That is the battle for 14th on track. Gorich stretched away. Stover now to the inside of Samet Oskin. Stapleton, Creed, Williams, and Barretto in the middle of that as well. But let's head back up here with Ben Crouch, because I want to keep bragging about the Season 1 champion. He is now up to 6th place, trying to chase down the 5 of Alexander Rowe, or the 5th place driver, the 11 of Alexander Rowe, in position number 5. Rowe is having a good night as well, trying to get back up there in the point standings. Crouch has been on the up and up for the better part of the last 2.5 weeks now. So this is good to see out of the Season 1 champion. Good to see him doing well. But now 16 laps to go here in the HEB 500. We've been caution-free through the first 52 laps. But it has been an interesting race for sure. But right now it is a humongous lead from Nathan Smith back to 2nd place RJ Rosero. Late in this green flag run, we're already seeing some cars on the pit road. Christian Vargas in the 1 on the pit road, potentially with a problem. He's not moving very much there. But the gap 1.95 seconds from Nathan Smith back to Rosero. The battle is for 3rd with Rowe on the inside of Cologne. Rowe's going to take the spot away, and Crouch closing in that 74. Closing in on the 98 of Cologne with a huge run headed off into turn number 1. And he's going to be there down low on the 98. He's going to have a shot at taking 4th place away here, and he is going to do it. Great run continuing for Ben Crouch here late in this race at Texas Motor Speedway. Smith, the lead shrinking just a little bit. Rosero and Rowe going to go side by side for 2nd. 1.78 seconds back. Rowe's going to take away the 2nd position, and Rosero slips to 3rd. Crouch right there looking for a podium spot. 12 laps to go this time by. And of course, waiting to see if we're going to see when we're going to see the 2nd cycle happen. A car slow high in the banking of turn 4. Nathan Stapleton on the outside of Titan Nicholas in the 17. The gap now 1.2 seconds. Up front between Smith and Rowe. Crouch moves into the 3rd position on the inside of Rosero. Cologne there in the 5th spot. Nathan Smith's lead is shrinking though. He might have used up his stuff. And Rowe is coming to life late in this stint here. Late in this green flag run. But again, waiting to see who's going to be the first taker down onto the pit road. Nathan Smith not going to come down just yet. Looks like all the front guys are going to stay out. And nobody coming down just yet for the second green flag pit stop. But now Rowe is within half a second of Nathan Smith. Smith, Rowe, Crouch, Rosero, Colon. Smith's going to come down to the pit road. And Crouch is going to stay out as well. Colon's going to stay out. Rosero, Fragniti in. Another split strategy here at Texas Motor Speedway for the second cycle. But we definitely see more coming down for the first take here for this cycle than we did the first one. 3 cars as opposed to just 1. Rowe's going to come down. Crouch is going to take the lead. Colon, Crawford, Johnson, and Parrish going to stay out as well for this. At 8 laps to go, Ben Crouch, the Season 1 champion up front. I cannot remember the last time that I have said Ben Crouch leading a race, but it is happening right now at Texas Motor Speedway. Ben Crouch on the inside there. He's going to stay out another lap as Colon comes down. Crawford, Johnson, Durrani, Arnsdorf, Rorich, Barreto, and contact there entering the pit road. Mitchell Collins runs right into the back of Andrew Williams in the 27, and that's big damage on the front end of the 59. Getting a little anxious there coming onto the pit road. Came in a little hot. And now coming around for 6 laps to go. Crouch is going to come down onto the pit road now. I believe we are still, yes, we are still green. Still green here at Texas Motor Speedway. And we will see here in just a little bit who cycles into the lead. Kugelon leading right now, but he has not come down on the pit road. Neither has Stover. Oskin hasn't come down. Hightower hasn't come down. Reynolds hasn't come down. We will see them come down now. They're going to try the overcut again. 5 laps to go this time by. There's Nathan Smith, Rowe, and Colon. As the leaders come down onto the pit road, we see the cars coming around that have already pit. Ben Crouch in the 74 may be ahead of them all. The mid-cut, did it work? There's Kugelon, there's Stover. I believe Ben Crouch is leading this race. I think he's leading it. He's behind the damaged car of Mitchell Collins. There he is. In that 59 Dodge, after running into the back of Andrew Williams, he's back out on the racetrack. Ben Crouch closing in on him. We'll see what the standings say when they come around this time. At 4 laps to go. Yes, it is. Ben Crouch is leading this race. The Season 1 champion. Could he steal one away here at Texas Motor Speedway? It's an almost 4-second gap to the points leader, Will Parrish. What a surprise that is. Ben Crouch, out of nowhere, nowhere to be seen at the start of this race, crept his way up in that second run, and now has the lead coming around for 3 laps to go. Parrish, after a dismal points day at Kansas, looks like he's going to bounce back and extend his points lead big time. Nathan Smith, another solid finish there in 3rd, but closing in on Parrish, could have a top 2 spot there. Coming around this time by for 2 laps to go. Colon 4th, Rowe 5th. But it's all going on behind Ben Crouch in the 74, who's 2 laps away from his first career Cabela's Cup Series victory. 4.12 seconds. Will he make it all the way around in these final lap and a half? Crouch coming around. He's going to get the white flag. one more time around Texas Motor Speedway for Ben Crouch to grab his first career win in the Cabela's Cup Series. The Season 1 champion has not won in this series. He's won in Scott's. It would be his first win of any kind here in Cabela's. Down the back straightaway for the final time, headed to turn 3. The lap car, Ethan Lewis, going to get down low, but it's not going to matter. Off the final corner. Finally, it's happening. Ben Crouch wins the AGB 500 at Texas. How about that? 3.28 seconds. That was the margin. What a call. What a pit call. Ben Crouch stealing this one away here at Texas for his first ever victory. I can't believe that. Nathan Smith second, Parrish third, Cologne fourth, Rowe fifth, Crawford sixth, Rosero seventh, Kugelon eighth, Stover ninth. Buck rounds out the top 10 here at Texas Motor Speedway. What a race! We went caution-free for the second week in a row. That's always awesome to see. And what a race it was. What an interesting race that ended up being. And Ben Crouch wins it with an average race speed of 187.526 miles per hour. We'll go through the rest of the field here. Collins and Ribbleton finishing a lap down. Vargas falling out of the race with a valve problem. That's why we saw him on the pit road. And Owen Miles out with a tire problem on that 25. But that wraps us up here at Texas Motor Speedway. Well, Scott's did not go caution-free. This one went caution-free. And the Season 1 champion finally has that elusive first victory in the Cabela's Cup Series. Congratulations, Ben Crouch. You are finally a winner in the Cabela's Cup Series. We'll take a look at your driver's point standings, your owner's point standings, and we're going to wrap it up here for the HEB 500. We'll see you later on for the CarQuest Indy Racing League, the Firestone 125K. Until then, y'all have a good one!
Welcome to the NOFSRL.